Evening and welcome to tonight's February 9th Village Board meeting. Would you please stand and join us all for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Okay, Charlene, please, roll call.
Okay, tonight we were starting with trustee Kittredge, but she's absent, so McClafferty?
Here.
Shaughnessy?
Here.
Snagowski?
Here.
Stapleton?
Here.
Horsley?
Here.
All right, next up, we have the consent agenda, which consists of the following. We have approval of minutes from the Committee of the Whole, January 26th. We have the Village Board meeting minutes from January 26th as well. We have approval of disbursements from January 27th through February 9th of this year. We have resolution R-05-26 authorizing the execution of an updated intergovernmental agreement with Joliet Metropolitan Area Narcotics Squad. We have a resolution R-06-26 authorizing a reduction of a letter of credit for Hoffman subdivision. We have an ordinance O-03-26 amending the Lamont Municipal Code, Chapter 5.04.060 for alcoholic beverages, decreasing the number of Class A3 liquor licenses, which relates to NextMex. We have a resolution R-07-26 approving professional services agreement between H.R. Green Incorporated and the Village of Lamont, Illinois for EPA Risk and Resilience Assessment and Emergency Response Plan updates. With that being said, I need a motion, please.
So moved. Second.
Okay, we have a motion by trustee Snagowski, seconded by trustee Shaughnessy. Any questions or comments regarding the consent agenda? All right, roll call, please.
Kittredge absent. McClafferty?
Yes.
Shaughnessy?
Yes.
Snagowski?
Yes.
Stapleton?
Yes.
Horsley?
Yes.
Okay, motion approved. All right, next up, the mayor's report. Before I do the mayor's message, we're going to have two public hearings. The first is I'm going to need a motion to open the public hearing on an annexation agreement for the address 13100 Main Street in Lamont, Illinois. Need a motion, please.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion by trustee Stapleton, seconded by trustee Snagowski at 6:33 p.m. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. We are now open for public comment. Mike, do you want to take this over, please?
Yeah, I would. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is for a public hearing for an annexation agreement at 131 Main Street in Lamont, Illinois. As you indicated, the public hearing opened at 6:33 p.m. To give a little background, the petitioner, Jose Velez, is requesting an annexation of the property at 13100 Main Street, along with the annexation agreement. I will say that we're going to have the public hearing tonight, and action items A, B, and C on the clerk's report. We're going to then table them, and a vote for them will be done at the next meeting. So that's the action item that you're going to have, but we still have put out for a public hearing, and that's what the public hearing is. The annexation agreement the property is currently unincorporated, and it's on Main Street. It's contiguous to the Village of Lamont. The annexation establishes the terms for the property, and it would be incorporated, and including the zoning, development standards, and municipal services. At the request, you can either come in at the as a residential, or you can actually you can negotiate, and they're coming in as what are what the other annex or zoning is around there is an M2 general manufacturing district, which is consistent with our intended industrial use of the site and consistent with everything around it. The agreement also contemplates the inclusion of the subject property for the Main and Marley TIF, which we're going to be having a public hearing next along the Main Street and Marley area. The annexation also is in our corporate limits. It's a logical and contiguous manner. It brings the subject property into the village's regulatory framework, and the development is consistent with our 2030 comprehensive plan. The staff has recommended that you will approve the annexation agreement when it comes in front of you, but it won't be coming in front of you today. That's the background per state law. The hearing's open, so if anyone has any comments or questions, this is the time that they are.
Mike, real quick, before we
Yep.
do public comment, can I just ask you a couple
Sure.
of questions here? So, so basically, this public hearing is for the address 13100, which relates to the first three things under the clerk's report. I believe it's 00426, 00526, and 0626.
That's correct.
And we're going to table those three items.
When we get to the clerk's report, we will. We'll be taking no action, but we're required to at least have the public hearing this evening.
Have the public hearing, got it. Okay, so Charlene will not have to address that in her clerk's report.
No, and the board can make a motion to
Strike them.
take all those together on a motion to table, C, D, and E.
Okay, we'll do that after.
Correct.
Okay, so go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, yeah,
Do you
A,
want
B, C.
to do public comment?
Or if the board has any
Yeah, I got a
questions.
couple of questions.
Sure.
One, is this, is the coming in and/or this whole proceeding contingent upon a purchase, or has the land already been acquired?
They have the property. This is best known when, this was in Palis Park. It was part of the Cog Hill properties.
Right,
It wa-
that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, it was, we called it, there was a triangle piece and there was a rectangle piece. This is the rectangle piece that the owner has owned for quite some time. They then disconnected from Palis Park, and they've been unincorporated, and now they wish to come to Lamont.
Okay. And one other question is back when this was before us, a couple of years ago, I think it was, there also was some conditions or questions then, and I think it came back as positive. There were some wetland impacts there. Has that been resolved yet, or is that still in negotiation with MWRD, or what's the status of that?
Their counsel's here, but it's my understanding that there is wetlands towards the back of the property, the northern property. And unless I'm incorrect, Mr. Clancy is here. He's a representative. I don't believe that's buildable. They're going to be building on that. I don't think it's going to be left as wetlands. So the
Okay, so
property.
they already are anticipating excluding that area for development.
That's correct. So
That's-
the majority of the development's going to be along Main
That's where I was going with.
in the southern part of the property.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Okay. You want to call, is this?
Is there any
chance for-
questions on the
anyone-
property? If they do? Okay. You none, you can close the
Okay.
public hearing.
Okay, so going to need a motion to close this first public hearing. Need a motion?
So moved.
Got a motion by trustee Snagowski, seconded by trustee McClafferty, to close our first public hearing at 6:39 PM. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. The motion is passed to close our first public hearing. So on to the next one. Need a motion to open a public hearing to consider the Main and Maley Increment Financing TIF redevelopment project area. Need a motion, please.
So moved. Second.
Okay, we have a motion. I'm sorry, who was it?
Trustee Forsley.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sam. Trustee Forsley, seconded by trustee Shaughnessy. At 6:40 PM, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. We are officially open on our second public hearing.
Happy to take this one over too, Mr. Mayor. This is a public hearing to consider the Main and Marley TIF Increment Financing District. Per the act, we have to have a public hearing. There will be an action item at the next meeting as well on this. So this is the hearing portion of it. Per the state statute, the TIF, the Tax Increment Financing District Act, we engaged Ryan LLC to complete a redevelopment project and plan for the economic and development and reinvestment in an aging industrial area. The proposed district is generally located along the northeast corner of Main Street and Maley Road. And as it is right now, it's either industrial or largely vacant. The Joint Review Board, per statute, held its meeting on January 7th. Notice for the public hearing was published in the Daily Southtown on multiple dates in January of 2026, and notices were mailed to the taxpayers and interested parties that are in the qualifying area along the Tax Increment Allocation Redevelopment Act area. The area has been found to qualify for a designation as a tax increment financing district under the Act because it meets the statutory eligibility criteria. Ryan LLC determined that it qualifies in part as a conservation area and also as a blighted vacant area. What the Act requires, those in a blighted vacant area has a couple as factors, and they found at least 5 of them, that the area has deterioration, it has a lack of community planning, it has inadequate utilities, and it has improper land use and layout and lagging or declining EAV, which is equalized assessed values. The vacant areas are blighted because they have chronic flooding, which in the Act, that's enough. So it is consistent with our strategic plan from 2022 to 2025, and is also consistent with our comprehensive plan. This is not going to be residential, so this is not a residential TIF. Why that's important? When it's a residential TIF, a developer then would have to work with and give essentially a fee to the other to the school districts and so forth. But this is going to be all industrial and not at all have any residence whatsoever. And with all of that said, the TIF Act, as you know, just as educationally, what the TIF Act does is it takes the base of, so the base of the sale of the property tax at the time that the TIF is made, and it's frozen, and any increment, any increase is what's used to help redevelop and spur the development. There's a but-for test, and that's been qualified that it's not going to be developed but for the TIF. So that is a little background on what we've done. This is the next step on the public hearing. And then, Mr. Mayor, after, if there are any questions from the board and yourself, then it would be a public hearing. You would close the public hearing, and we will vote on it at the next meeting.
Thanks, Mike.
I got a quick question, Mike. Are any other parcels around that development in the TIF district
All, yeah, there's,
contiguous with?
it's all contiguous. Yeah, it's all part of it.
And real quick, guys, before, we can open it back up for trustee questions, but I believe Brett Michelson is here. Yeah. Mike, why don't you go up to the mic
Yeah, good evening.
and just introduce yourself, say who you're with.
Thanks. My name is Brett Michelson. I'm with Ryan LLC. We're the TIF consultant for the village. As the village attorney mentioned, we did prepare the TIF eligibility report and redevelopment plan. Largely the qualification factors you discussed. Here to answer any questions about that.
So the actual TIF, the actual approval of this goes in front of a pre-board meeting, correct? Where we have representatives from
The Joint Review Board.
Joint Review Board. And why don't you just tell us a little bit about the Joint Review Board, so people understand, people hear TIF, they don't understand it, sometimes they talk like they do. I just want to make sure, a lot of times when we start bringing up a potential TIF, it's a good time to re-educate what these are and how they work and why we do them.
Sure. So there's a map up there of the study area. Vaguely, it's in the northwest corner of the village. Primarily, it's industrial. It's generally along the north side of Main Street, bifurcated by Melee Road. You can kind of see the boundaries there. A couple of the parcels need to be annexed into the village, which was something we were talking about prior. It's a mix of industrial and vacant properties. There's different designation as to how you designate both. But functionally, you establish a boundary of an area. The equalized assessed valuation of the area is set as the base year, and anything over that base for the next 23 years can be reinvested into the area for a very specific list of eligible expenses. Generally speaking, when we're talking about this TIF, it's infrastructure improvements and any rehabilitation of existing properties that are there. We found that 5 of the 13 qualification factors for a conservation area are present. For partial portions of the TIF, we found that at least 2 of the 6 for the blighted vacant area were present, as well as the chronic flooding factor. When designating an area, we have to read very strictly to the TIF Act. We have to ensure that the area is in compliance with the comprehensive plan for the village. It meets the objectives of the village. And we designate a certain established budget. This is based on what our expectation is for the equalized assessed valuation growth over the 23-year period and the village's priorities for the redevelopment area. So the base data that we had was for the equalized assessed valuation in 2023, approximately a little over $11 million. The budget is a little bit shy of $22 million. Excuse me. We expect that the equalized assessed valuation will grow to between $30 and $40 million, depending on the redevelopment activities there. This is an estimated budget for the area. Really, the most important thing is the total estimated TIF budget, which is around $22 million. The rest of the line items are fungible. We really only list this to give an idea of the types of activities that could be undertaken with the incremental revenue that this area would produce. Some of those things are land acquisition, site preparation, utility improvements. You can see that's the biggest line item here based on our conversations with the village and the priorities for the area. Rehabilitation, interest costs, professional service costs, and the like. Are there any questions from the board?
So just a couple of comments. So this TIF does include currently unincorporated land that is going to be incorporated into the village, correct?
Correct.
And this is in an industrial area. It's zoned industrial, and people would say, okay, why would you do this? Why would you think about this? And as we've all seen around us, unincorporated land that turns into truck parking all along Main Street. And we have no jurisdiction over it. It is not in the village. They don't put in curbs. They don't put in turning lanes. They don't put in infrastructure. They don't asphalt it. They don't put, traffic signalization. This could and may require a turn lane. They do not necessarily do that in unincorporated areas. In fact, they don't do it. And that's something we continue, to address. Lamont is surrounded by unincorporated. And, we especially in this area, there is, I believe, Chief, there's quite a few accidents along that. The traffic speed, I think, hits 50 miles an hour along there. And again, so the thinking of this is I'd be the first one to tell you I don't like trucks. But guess what? We got trucks everywhere. We got towns north of us, all around us, putting in trucks, warehouses. And unfortunately, a lot of times, if you don't take it, it's going in anyway. And that's what we have to face as a board sometimes, is that, well, if you don't want to go into Lamont, it's going to go in. So you either get a say in what's going to go in there, or you just grin and bear it and accept, hey, you know what? All those warehouses that are north of our town, guess what? None of them are in Lamont right now. We take it. And, you know what, those are decisions we have to balance out. And that's why, you know, when we start talking about something like this, that's kind of the thought process and the background of a TIF. I know we have to, you know, go through this every now and then when we do talk about a TIF. So that's just my little backdrop. Don't know if any of the other trustees have any questions or comments. Okay.
One other item, really nice summary, but one of the misconceptions is it's not that when there's a TIF, that they cannot use that to build the actual building. It's all those costs, which is essentially infrastructure, things of that nature. So the building of a building is not. That's still the requirement of the developer.
Yep.
The one other thing I would add is that just because there is an established budget for activities in the TIF doesn't mean that an applicant could come and, you know, secure those funds automatically. Any approval for utilization of TIF funds is subject to village board. So,
Right, that's the decision of our board, is
Yes.
you know, and it does come down to an agreement. That's why we,
The expenses have to be eligible.
and the expenses have to be eligible, which is typically, I know there's several listed up there, but, you know, the ones I'm most familiar with are, you know, infrastructure, turn lanes, utilities, safety, so forth, so on.
Quick question,
Yep.
Mike. So you had mentioned residential. When it's residential, they have to give a certain amount to the schools.
Right.
When it's industrial like this and it's not residential, do they have any?
No.
Nothing, so it's just strictly reinvestment?
Right.
Okay.
And the Joint Review Board did not object to this, the other taxing bodies. That's important to note.
Okay.
If there's any, Brett, thank you. Any other comments or questions at this time? If you do, you have to come up and give your name, please.
Laura Regal. So my first question is the parcels that you're looking at putting in the TIF, are they incorporated into the village? Are they part of the Village of Lamont?
All but one.
All but one.
And the one is what we were here for, and that'll be done before the TIF is approved.
Okay. So just like the consultant said, TIFs were created for a very specific purpose. They're for blighted areas and economically stagnant areas. I know it was stated that that they meet the criteria for the TIF. But what was interesting was what was stated, which was that the property owner is not going to build on the wetlands that are there.
It's not the only property. There are many different properties. So
I got you, but I'm still going down this, if you please don't
That was the
mind.
previous one, though. That was a previous one. Previous parcel that we were talking about.
Correct, but that's part of this TIF.
Could be.
Yes, it's part of this TIF. So if we're talking about blighted areas and areas that meet the criteria, if somebody can build on it and it's buildable and it has wetland, then how does it meet blighted?
The state statute, the state statute is very clear, and we have experts here who this is what they do for a living. There's a strict code on which they follow, and it's their professional opinion that it follows. It actually meets more than they need to. If Brett, if you could respond to that.
yeah, so with the vacant portions, there's a two-pronged qualification. One is what's called a standalone factor. A standalone factor would designate the vacant areas entirely as eligible. That we relied on a chronic flooding letter from the engineer, from the village engineer. So there's a separate expert that reviews the area for designation as wetlands, for designation as chronic flooding. That alone would qualify a vacant portion as blighted under the TIF Act. However, we did an additional assessment against 6 factors that are eligible under the Act, and at least 2 of those can also be present. We found 2 of those 6 to be present as well. Those include deterioration adjacent to the site and a leg of equal as assessed valuation relative to the village.
Chronic flooding, it's an automatic fixture.
Okay, so every dollar of future property tax growth diverted into a TIF is a dollar not going into our schools, parks, libraries, and essential public services. Those do not disappear. Instead, the burden shifts onto the residents and small businesses outside the TIF through higher taxes or reduced services. In Lamont, the issue is not hypothetical. It's about scale. The Gateway TIF covers roughly 75 acres. The Trans-Oriented Development TIF adds about another 27 plus acres. There's 3 more beyond that, and this TIF, from what I understand, is another over 100 acres. So when you look at this, how many acres does the Village of Lamont have currently without the TIF that they're looking at adding and without the Forge TIF that they're looking at and may to add? How many acres currently is there of TIF district in the Village of Lamont?
We could probably get that for you. When we get back to it, we'll follow up with you and get you that information. It's a good
It
question.
seems like it's a significant amount. I'd appreciate that number, though. Taken together, this represents a substantial portion of land and decades of future tax growth already committed to diversion. At the same time, Lamont taxpayers have just demonstrated their willingness to invest directly in essential services by approving $46 million referendum for the fire department. Residents stepped up because public safety is a clear shared priority. The vote underscores an important point. When taxpayers are asked to fund core community needs, they respond. But continued expansion of TIF districts risk diverting future tax growth away from exactly those kinds of essential services residents have said they value. Lamont is not a struggling municipality searching for investment. We are a strong, desirable, growing community with active development and real economic momentum. So the central question becomes simple. If development is already happening, why does it require long-term tax diversion to occur? Expanding TIFs where growth would happen anyway turns an extraordinary redevelopment tool into a routine financial shortcut that erodes public trust. There are also lasting consequences. TIFs can mask the village's true financial condition. They can create inequity between properties inside and outside district boundaries. They can bind future boards and taxpayers to decades of reduced flexibility. Across Illinois, lawmakers are now considering whether voters should be required to approve new TIF districts. That discussion is happening because communities are demanding greater transparency, accountability, and restraint in the use of property tax diversion. Lamont has an opportunity to lead. We can choose careful stewardship of the tax base, limit TIF, use true blight, and protect the schools, services, and residents who make the village strong. Or we can continue expanding a system that quietly shifts long-term financial responsibility onto every taxpayer it's meant to serve. Respectfully, Lamont's success was not built on tax diversion. It was built on responsible leadership, strong neighborhoods, and community investment. Because of that strength, Lamont does not need more TIF districts. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Hey there, my name is Dmitry Kolev. I'm with IMTT, which is one of the property owners that's included in this district, TIF district. I have a question. How was this boundary established? Because my understanding is it already includes about 50% of it is existing businesses. There's 5 businesses there, and an area, about half of it to the east, is what we call wetland. I understand in the earlier part of this meeting, there was a motion to incorporate this in the village. Is that the reason why this TIF district is being put together, and why are our businesses part of it? They're already existing businesses. We are a liquid storage and handling facility. Osco is there, and there's three other facilities, three other businesses, which are mainly parking lots and truck shops. What is the investment and development that is going to be promoted via this special tax district, and how will this kind of affect our taxes? Also, I went through the report that Ryan LLC did, and I mean, the lack of development kind of comment I found kind of strange, because obviously JB Hunt is building a big facility there. There have been, I think they're called Profit Logistics, also built a shop that employs quite a few people. So I don't agree with the comment on the lack of investment. Maybe there's a lack of investment in that eastern lot. And like again, why are our businesses targeted in this?
Is that in the TIF?
George, you want to talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, you want to talk about the boundaries? I don't believe there might be the entrance road, which is mainly might be included portions, but the majority of IMTT is not
True.
in the boundary.
We own Maley Road.
Yeah, but the facility itself is not within the district. But I know when we talked, you maybe could speak a little bit about the areas that were selected, being more. Go ahead.
When we evaluate an area for eligibility, we have a long conversation with the village about the final boundaries, talk about what should be included, what shouldn't. What are the priorities for the area, whether it's infrastructure improvements, what have you. When we do an analysis of an area, we go out, we do site visits, we take photographs of the properties. We consider the entire area as a whole. So, when we say lack of investment in the area, we're talking about in general, the entire area as a whole, rather than one business individually. So it's a little bit of, finding what the priorities are for the village and incorporating them into the report. But I don't know if that answered your question specifically. The eligibility factors cannot necessarily be applied to one property or two properties. They have to be what's called reasonably distributed to meaningful extent throughout the entire area. So that's language specifically from the Act.
So we were kind of lumped in the TIF to meet certain requirements or certain criteria that you were looking for?
Yeah, I think what we're saying is the majority of your facility is not in the tax district. Everything south of the IMTT.
Just real quick, it sounds like you're representing IMTT, right?
I'm here to find out. I mean,
Okay, I didn't know. No, that's what I'm saying, because
Yeah, it's not in the district.
And we could sit down and talk with IMTT, because there's many other issues between the village and IMTT, where there is swapping of land, I believe.
We have a lease with IMTT. I think you lease I&M Canal property
Correct, yeah.
that we own. So we
So
have a
you
great
know this, or,
relationship.
I'm sorry, are you representing IMTT? I'm not that I'm trying to.
I'm employed by IMTT.
Yeah,
I'm here
okay.
to find out what this is
So I think we have a
about.
great
So it's-
relationship with IMTT, and we
Yeah.
can maybe follow up with a meeting. And I also don't want to come across that there aren't good businesses out north of Main Street, because there are fantastic businesses.
Yeah.
But I also want to say in this area, and talking to Chief Lococo, he could probably speak a little bit better. We've also had some hodgepodge of truck parking establishments that we've had criminal activity. Correct, Chief? I mean, where trailer parking and in the middle of the night issues. I mean, this is an area where we hope with further investment and incentives we can create higher value economic development.
Yeah, so
along Maley Road,
there's no.
right.
We're
that's
not
what we're
creating this because we don't think there's an investment in Lamont. I mean, we're creating this because anyone that owns that land is going to want to do something with that land. Just like the owners of IMTT, what they want to do. They want to put a business on there. If you're not unincorporated, you could still put a business on there. And guess what? They could put what they need to put on there in accordance with Cook County, which is what we're running into on, what is it, Maley?
McGuire,
McGuire Road.
Boyer.
Boyer Road. Go down those roads. We don't have a say in any of it. You call those good businesses? I'm not going to comment on them, but they don't belong in the village. We have people getting killed at those intersections, multiple
Had one last week, yeah.
yeah, casualties there. We have no jurisdiction over it. And that's where we're not commenting that there's not good, but there's great businesses. IMTT is an awesome business. And this is not about trying to, say, hey, we need more economic development. We're trying to take from schools, because right now what would happen is that if they didn't come into the village, we wouldn't have a say on what goes there. They could do what they're doing right now on Marley Road. If you want to see 8, trailers parked right up against the road, that's what you'll see over there. And that's, it's not safe. None of that tax money comes back to the village. None of it goes to the police. None of it goes to streets and sand. None of it does. And so these are the kind of the decisions. And I'm not, I understand your questions, and I'm not disputing them. I'm just trying to educate you. These are the things we factor in and why we consider these TIF districts. Again, this is an industrial TIF district. We've seen it before. What happens is if we don't have a say in it, you get grindings down there. And then after grindings, you get trailer parking. And then you get, Chief, I believe we had a very serious, was it a gentleman that nearly passed, I think, in a truck park down there? There's a lot of suspicious activity that goes on in these areas. That's why it's very important that these unincorporated areas, we have a say over them, because otherwise, my term that I use, it turns into the wild, wild west. And unfortunately, we don't want that to happen because it's right next to our town. So I just give you a little bit of backdrop on that.
I believe IMCT is incorporated and all the businesses on Malley Road are. So I understand if that eastern lot, if that's the path to getting that into the village, I understand that reasoning, but I just wanted to, not familiar with these businesses, other businesses and crimes, but that was my question, like the reason for this. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Anyone else? All right, you can close the public hearing. You'll need a motion, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mike. And thank you, everyone, for your input. Need a motion to close the public hearing.
So move. Second.
All right, we have a motion by trustee Stapleton, I believe it was trustee Snagowski as well, to close it at 7:07 PM. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion is passed. We are closed with our second and final public hearing. Next up, we got the mayor's message. Got a couple things going on. At our last board meeting, we obviously, announced the very tragic passing of our beloved Tom Bellard. Our thoughts, prayers, go out to his family, and we just want to let everyone know we're going to have a special dedication for Tom and his family on the next village board meeting, which is February 23rd. So please mark that down. Also, mark on your calendar, Saturday, March 7th from 1 to 4 p.m., it's our annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. And we always take credit as it being the shortest parade in the suburbs, but it's well attended. So everyone wear their green, get out there. It begins at 1 p.m. Right off Stephen and Front Streets and heads west again to Main Street. Party and everything follows the parade from 2 to 4 p.m. right at Legion Park, where the Stockyard Kilty Band will open the party, followed by the Irish dancers at the gazebo. Jason, are you going to be there again this year? I'll be there. All right. Well, we thank you and your group for coming out. Also, there will be a DJ, LaMonster Archie. Food vendors, and be sure to visit the VFW as always for their delicious corned beef sandwiches. Please visit the events page at lamontdowntown.com for more information. That's always a fun day. Please check that out, and hopefully the weather continues to cooperate. Also, hosted by the Lamont Park District. Now is the perfect time to start getting your garage sale items together to join in on the community garage sale. It's our annual one. It's open to residents of Lamont. The community garage sale takes place 3 days, starting April 24th, 25th, and 26th. The cost is $10 per house, and your address for this cost will be included in the directory, website, and social media to promote your sale of goods. Also, please visit the Lamont Park District website at lamontparkdistrict.org to register with the activity code. It's a long one. It's 661-300-A1. So check that out. Also, if you have not done so, please be sure to sign up for our urgent emergency notification system, which is a Lamont Alerts powered by Everbridge. This is our primary urgent and emergency notification system, and it is important that residents receive these alerts, especially in emergency. Please visit lamontil.us/Lamont Alerts to sign up. If you do not have access to a computer or mobile device and want to receive alerts on your home telephone, please call 630-257-8941, and staff will get you entered to receive these alerts. As always, please visit our Lamont Village website, which is at lamontil.us, and you can visit the events calendar as well at lamontdowntown.com for many of the events and happenings of businesses and things going on around town. So that is the mayor's report. I know it was a long one, but Mike, we're going to have the clerk's report, and do you want to kick that off first?
Yeah, what I'd like, if we could, if A, B, and C, I would like, I said motion to table, but I'd rather it for a motion to postpone it to the next meeting, which is February 23rd, is that right?
23rd, correct.
All right, so the motion is not to table, but it's the motion, joint motion to postpone the votes on, under the clerk's report, A, B, and C.
Okay, so we need a motion, again, to table ordinance.
So moved.
Yeah, all right.
I will postpone,
Postpone.
I will make a motion to postpone the first three items under the clerk's report to the next meeting on February 23rd, was it?
I second.
Okay, motion by trustee Snagowski, seconded by trustee McClafferty. Roll call, please.
Okay, let's see, Kittredge, absent. McClafferty?
Yes.
Shaughnessy?
Yes.
Snagowski?
Yes.
Stapleton?
Yes.
Worsley?
Yes.
Okay, motion approved.
Okay, so before I present my one ordinance that I have left here, I'd like to mention something, if I might. At our last board meeting, I lost a ring. It was my mother's, and she passed away 29 years ago. My father had given it to her for their 25th wedding anniversary, and he died 6 months to the day before their 50th. After she passed 29 years ago, I wore it, and I only took it off for cleaning. I don't know if it got caught on a glove or slipped off. I have no idea how, after 29 years of wearing it. Anyway, I lost it. If anyone has found it, I would really, really appreciate its return. It has a lot of meaning for me. Thank you, and let's get on to the ordinance. Okay, this is ordinance O-06-26, and this is rezoning 28.799 acres of property located at 131, oh, that's not it. Wrong page, gotta get rid of it. Okay, here we are. This is it. In ordinance O-27, granting a variation from section 17.21.040 of Unified Development Ordinance to allow an addition to the building utilizing exterior metal panels located at 16748 New Avenue in Lamont. That's at Natco Leasing.
Okay, so we need a motion, again, for ordinance O-07-26. Need a motion, please.
So moved.
Okay, motion by trustee McClafferty, seconded by trustee Snagowski. Roll call, please.
Okay, Kittredge, Skippers absent. McClafferty?
Yes.
Shaughnessy?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Stapleton?
Yes.
Horsley?
Yes.
All right, motion approved. All right, next up, thank you, Charlene, and good luck. Let's find that ring. I know we looked hard and
Is it here at the village?
fast back here.
At the village?
Yeah, I was here, so I don't know if it was maybe when I was gonna go out the door and putting gloves on or taking things out of my pocket. I have no idea.
All right,
But,
but,
anyway, yeah, it's missing.
It'll come up.
all right.
St. Anthony.
Okay, yeah, exactly, St. Anthony. All right, village administrator report. I'm sorry, Mike, anything,
I've
attorney
spoken
report?
enough tonight. Thank you.
No, you said enough, all right. I think we all did. All right, village administrator report.
Nothing for you today, Mr.
Okay, any board reports?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Mayor, pardon me for the timing of this, but I won't be here for the next meeting. I want to acknowledge the passing of Tom Ballard. Being in the village for 25 years or however long I've been here, that man was a part of everything I did. And when I was with the police department, suffice to say that anything I asked, he ever did. I really can't say enough about Tom, his impact in the village, and I know it'll be discussed later, but I wanted to personally say it from my background here and dealing with that guy every day, seeing him at the bus turnaround there, seeing him at the school crossings, seeing him everywhere. He will be deeply missed. He, in my opinion, is unappreciated, like some people who do things we take for granted. And Tom Ballard was that type of guy, that he didn't ask for thanks. We didn't really give him a lot of thanks. And for that, I feel bad. But a tremendous loss for the village, a great guy who will not be replaced. There's no one that's going to replace that guy. And, you know, type of guy that, hey, sometimes he'd be a dog with a large bark, but he had no teeth. So with that, thank you, Mayor, for allowing me to pay my respects to a great guy, a friend that I will truly miss. Thank you.
Yep, well said, and again, you know, we love you, Tom, and again, next village board meeting, we'll have a little bit more, obviously, to say and honor him with.
We were, and I think we were fortunate to have him. Every town could use a Tom Ballard.
Yep.
You know, but we were lucky to have him. And also, I know we're getting out of the winter season. I just want to say thanks to Public Works for the fine work as you always do for us, keeping our roads safe and, you know, going 24/7. So it's appreciated.
All right. Okay, next up, staff reports.
I have one tonight.
Yes, sir.
Just want to give you an update on our lead service line replacement program that we're doing. We successfully replaced 30 lead lines so far. That's phase one. So in the spring, we'll start the restoration on the property that we've replaced. And phase two should start this summer. And we'll be doing 26 lead lines. And then we're still working on the phase three inventory. So it's working out well, very little to no problems. Residents are happy and we're making everybody healthier.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Now, is that outsourced, the replacement?
It is.
And as far as lawns or whatever it may be, that's outsourced as
Part
well?
of the contract with IHC,
Yeah,
yes.
okay, and because that's what I'm most concerned about, obviously, or dinging, you know, other type of utilities, gas lines, that sort of thing. So hopefully, you know, there's something, obviously, every town that, you know, is old enough has to go through. Let's keep our fingers crossed, and good to hear that we're off to a
going well.
solid start. So good to hear that.
I just want to let you, personally, I was involved at my mom's house. IHC, the contractor, very reputable contractor. They actually bought another company who does the directional boring. The good news is they were all on time, calling you when they were going to show up, and they were done in less time than they anticipated. So did a real
Good.
nice job, minimized the disturbances out in the yard. Obviously, they'll take care of those in the spring, as they told me, but the work in the house, you could barely tell they were there. And they had to bore through limestone foundation in my mom's
Wow.
house, so.
Yeah, it's going well. So thank
Good
you.
to hear. All right. Any other, Darshana, Chief? All right. Okay. With that being said, any unfinished or new business? The board? All right, George, audience participation.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Public comment will be open now during this section of the agenda. Anyone wishing to address the board and was signed in prior to the meeting, all comments under the public comment will be limited to 3 minutes per person. And Mike, if you have anybody listed, if you want to read them off from there, that's fine. Dave Wilkes, you want to come up and kick it off?
Got some pictures for you.
Oh.
You guys love my pictures, so I like to take them. They comment and everything else about your order alert system in Lamont. And you guys get alerted Friday or Saturday? I don't think so. Big problem. Citgo ruptured a line in the tank farm, okay, at 2:30 Friday. They're still down there trying to clean up the mess. You guys got to go down there and look and see what's going on, because you're with the odor alert and the EPA stuff with Citgo and everything else. You got to find out what the hell's going on. They filled that ditch, the water, that aqueduct to the top, and they pumped, I don't know how many thousands of gallons of fire retardant foam over the top of it. Okay, they're still down there right now trying to get the spill from the tank farm all the way to New Avenue cleaned up. I don't think EPA was notified. Like I said, your odor alert network, it's just as bad as a 911. Everybody on the longtime Lamonter things, everything else on the media, we're texting on a thing about the odors and all that stuff, Friday, Saturday, and everything else. I put on there that Citgo had a leak down there, and two of the ladies had challenged me that how did I find out about this? Well, I told them, drive down there. It's at 127th and High Road. It's right behind tank 429. You can see in them pictures, they had the fire department, they had rubber-tired backhoes, ukes, claw cranes, all out there, and they're still out there. It's still running down all the way to New Avenue. I think that's a problem that you guys need to address. You talk about the...
Is this in Lamont?
Lamont has the road. But it's still Citgo, and it's the EPA garbage and everything else with the releases of chemicals, which you got the odor elite system, which nobody got notified. The best one, at 3 o'clock, the school buses drove right through there. Dude, I couldn't breathe when I went down there. That's how bad it was down there.
Was the fire department there?
Not Lamont's, not Romeoville's, Citgo's was there. Their trucks come rumbling past my house. I got a call from Mobile Terminal, Dave, it's not ours, it's down at Citgo. Now, like I said, there's pictures of it. You can see they were there 24/7 since Friday at 2 o'clock. It's still not cleaned up. If you look at the aqueduct on the side there, it's all busted up. That's all leaching in the ground.
This is Lamont Road?
No, that's New Avenue.
I mean, New Ave, I'm sorry.
It's High Road, sorry.
So this is High Road?
Yep. Right under the High Line, where the aqueduct goes through. Yep, that there. That's where all the shit's going down, and that's what they're sucking out. You can see the pictures of the sucker trucks and everything else. See how busted up that is?
And High Road is right
That's going
here.
into the ground?
Got it.
Thank you, David. Yeah, well,
Yep.
thank you. Thank you.
I just want to say we're not really part of the village as far as being a taxpayer of the village, but we do pay taxes into the fire department, which has got a huge referendum that passed. We pay taxes into the schools, and we pay taxes into the entities that are affected by what the village board votes on and how the village board votes. I did learn something tonight, though. I did learn about the TIF district. I learned the fact that planning for TIF districts include businesses that don't necessarily need to be part of a TIF district, other than the fact that the TIF district needs so much in acreage to meet the criteria that the state has. So I can clearly understand why the state now is looking at changing it and putting it up to the voters to decide. Because when you're diverting $21 million, $21,950,000 of tax revenue, and there's no clear-cut way of saying what it's getting spent on, what it's being diverted to, how it's going to be spent, if all of it gets spent, where it goes, or anything else. It's very similar to the video gaming revenue that Lamont's getting in, $600,000. Yet I've been attending these meetings for a while. We never hear any discussion on where that money's going, where the $600,000, that revenue that Lamont's getting from video gaming in one calendar year is going, what Lamont is doing with it. Where does it go? Crime, TIF districts don't stop crime. No matter what you do, crime's still going to be there. Accidents are going to happen. The same thing happens. I mean, if you want control over an area, you got to have them annexed into the village. A TIF district isn't going to do that unless you're annexing them just to take and give them free money for doing projects within their own businesses in order to get them to annex into Lamont. There's an awful lot of TIF districts in Lamont, though. I can't wait to see how many acres. And yet the Forges, you're looking at one for the Forge to get $600,000 to pay what the village owes. At least that's what Rimmer has it. So, I mean, TIF districts, it takes the money away from us, the taxpayers. We end up paying for it. I don't know. Look at your tax bill. The fire department, you went up huge right now in your tax bill for the fire department to pay for that referendum. I don't know how people can keep affording it in here with what you're doing. Now I can see why the state's stepping in and trying to stop this. It needs to stop. It needs controls. If people can't control it on the board and people can't stand up and do what's right for the taxpayers, then I can see why they want to give it to the taxpayers and give that control to the taxpayers. It's needed. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. All right, anybody else?
No comment for myself and Chris, though. It was more of an attendance sheet, not a comment.
Emily? No one else?
All right, thank you.
All right.
That concludes public comment.
All right, well, with that being said, so no executive session, is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. And with that being said, we'll need a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved. Second.
All right, we have a motion by trustee McClafferty, seconded by trustee Forsley. Roll call, please.
Kit Reach absent. McClafferty?
Yes.
Shaughnessy?
Yes.
Snagowski?
Yes.
Stapleton?
Yes.
Worsley?
Yes.
All right, motion approved. We are officially done for this evening. Want to wish everyone a great week. Thanks for coming out, and we will see you. Our next village board meeting is in 2 weeks, correct? Okay, thank you, everyone.